2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee. We're going to do the transmission flush and change the filter. Okay, we enter the car. Transmission pin is back here. It's an 8mm bolt all around, about 15 of them. We're going to start taking them down, but the rear ones on this side towards the front of the car I will leave on, loose but on, and I will try to take the backward bolts on first completely, so I can tilt the pen to drop the fluid into the pen without making too much of a mess. It's best to have a plug. The new pen I got, it has a plug on it, so once in a while we can just drain it and refill it. It takes about 6 quarts to refill from here, and you always have a good clean fluid. So let's start the work. Take a 5-gallon bucket. If you have a white one, it's better. I have this red one. I use the gallon to measure, so I put water inside for now, and the 1 gallon mark, I marked it, is down there. Now I'm going to enter another gallon and I will mark again. So when you take out transmission fluid, you have to be precise or close to it. So I'm going to take out from the system about 8 quarts, but I will mark the bucket. I will mark the bucket. This is the 1. Somewhere here I let the water settle is 2. I will add 1 more, 3 somewhere there. That will be plain because that's 3 is 12 quarts already. Before we start, let's take out the dipstick and look the color of this old fluid. As can you see, it's really very dirty, and it hasn't been changed for a long time. So we're going to try to get the cherry red color, about 13.5 quarts in the V8 engine. Okay, so as can you see, it's running down oil. The color is not really good. I still have the bulbs on in the rear. Remove the fronts, a couple of little banks and tops, and it start coming out, so we can't see most of it. The messy job, but it gotta be done. Okay, the pen is down, almost filled pen, dirty oil though. We're gonna take the filter out, clean up the gasket all around, and do the new gasket on it. And there is another filter back here. There's 2 filters, so I'm going to replace both filters and the gasket. So let's start cleaning up the gasket and remove the filters is the next job. Okay, we're going to remove the filter. It's only 1 screw. It's a T25. I already cleaned around the gasket area. It looks nice and clean. So removing the T25, you can see the filter wants to come out, and a little jiggling left and right. Don't lose these bolts. Snap it out, and oil will come out. There is the oil from the filter. Okay, so that's 1. Now we're going to remove the other filter. Big pliers will do. It's going to have a special tool for it. So let's work on the next filter. Okay, the filter is loose and coming out. To the car to replace the fluid on the transmission. I was going to change the filters, but usually I flush them. But because the rusty pen, I had to replace it. So Okay, that the filters are out. Be careful when you work around the transmission area, the sensitive area. Don't get any dirt in here. It has to be clean at all the time. If you don't finish your job in one day, cover it up with plastic or something. You don't want no dirt to go inside the transmission. Go ahead and install the filters and put the pen back on. Okay, I poured like the old fluid into the 5-gallon container to see how much it came out. Out of curiosity, it's a little over a gallon of quart, I would say. So that's 5 quarts came out. Okay, now the filters are on. We're preparing the new pen to go on the car. We aligned the rubber gasket. What they did is they cut the holes a little smaller. So what you do is you get the bolt under and thread it through, and they stay into place, just like the other ones I have up there. Yeah? So right now try to do it with one hand so I can show you how. So there you go. By doing this, you can see now all the bolts are on it, so the gasket is in the correct place. Just lift and turn a little bit. Don't forget to put the magnet, very important. The pen didn't come with the magnet. Make sure it's cleaned up, nothing in here, has to be really super clean, and on the car it goes. Okay, the new pen is on, and we're gonna have to tie the bolts all around. All you gotta do is just go across from one side to the other, and here vice versa, like a cross. Always the opposite. Slowly pick up all the slack first, and then start tightening the same way across. Don't over tight the bolts. And job is done on the pen. The filter, we have a new drain plug for the future, so every 20-30,000 miles you can just drain it. It takes 6 quarts or about that when you drain half, but then you always have a fresh fluid inside. And when we're done with the pen, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the lines from the cooler and flush the rest of the oil. That's another 6-7 quarts inside. So let's finish tightening the bolts and go ahead and flush the rest of the system. Okay, now we're under the car. You can see the pen back down there. It's nice and new. We're under the car now, and this is the 2 lines for the transmission. They're under the thermostat and the 4.7. I searched online for information on the return line to tell me, find out which one it is the return, because that's what you're looking to disconnect. I saw some videos on YouTube, but nobody says which of the 2 lines is. So what I'm going to do is I will disconnect the lower part of the transmission, and so the trick with it is if you're not sure which is the line, and don't take my word for it, you do your own research. If the line, one of the lines has pressure fluid coming out, that's the return. The other one's supposed to be suction type of, so it won't be much fluid coming out. So if you're not sure, by disconnecting both of the lines, the one comes with pressure out the fluid, that's the return line. So I'm going to disconnect the line right now, have the bucket ready underneath it. I'm going to start the engine and see what's happening. I'm going to put about 5 quarts of fluid into the transmission, because I took 5 quarts out when I replaced the pen. And then I'm going to start the engine and have the return line pour into my bucket. And remember, the bucket is marked like so, so I will know how much I have, so I can pour in the same amount back. So let's start the procedure by adding the fluid that we took out and disconnect the line. I'll disconnect the lower line and see if that's the correct line and start the procedure. Okay, so we're refilling. I'm using the Castrol transmission ATF fluid, nice and red. I will put in 4 quarts. I took out to play safe. You don't want to overfill the transmission. What a difference between the one I took out and this color of the oil, completely red, and the other one was like motor oil, almost brown. here it comes. You run it out right now. I start the engine. I'm going to pour out. I'm going to stop the engine in 2 minutes, but you can see this is the line that leaks out the dirty oil to the transmission. When you reach that quart or so, I'm going to stop it. That's why I have the marks down here. Okay, the fluid is coming out nice and clean. I'm going to turn the engine off now. Okay, that's how much we took out from the flushing. A little bit over 2 gallons, I would say, maybe 9 quarts, and 5 when we replace the transmission fluid pan. That's 13. The capacity, I believe, is 13 and a half. So we took out all the dirty oil. Okay, we secure the clamp, return the hose back where it's supposed to be. It's the lower hose. Again, do your own research, but for my 0.47, 4.7 is the lower hose, or the one of the two that will take out more than the other. One will be suction and one will be pressure out, returned. Okay, we're gonna shift the gears slowly all the way up and all the way down a couple of times. The car has reached the operating temperature, so I'm gonna go check while the engine is running. Make sure the car is level. All done. Jeep runs good. Shifts well. Okay, we finished with the Jeep transmission fluid flush, and I want you to see the difference between one oil and the other, before and after. So big difference. The transmission right now will be happy and shift nice. Service needs to be done. It needs to be done. So that's about it. Okay, the 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee is in service with the transmission fluid, new pan and new filter, all set, good to go. Job well done. Good luck to you guys.